G'day guys, got a good one this time. This is because I've had a lot of thought on something. I'll give you a bit of a background first. It's to do with protecting your IP, inventions, ideas, things like that in general. And the way you normally do it is you go and file a patent, get a patent attorney, because you've got to make sure you don't trip up and do things wrongly and then it negates your patent. So years ago, I think I had something like about 30 or 40 patents or something of that nature. And I did not do full-on patents. And in a lot of cases, I just used what they had in Australia called an innovation patent. And with the innovation patent system, it was very cheap. It was like $50 an application, but it became public record. So if you went and gave a detailed explanation of your invention, you have to tell everybody its intended purpose, how it works, componentry. You need to do diagrams and even a prototype of how it works. And you could put in an application and it became public knowledge. And at that time, what it would do, it would be a fallback position if anyone later down the track tried to patent what you had just gone and publicly disclosed. So it would be a hurdle and a half to get over, and it would stop people patenting stuff. Like one of my patents, I'll tell you what it was. Very early on, I let all these expire because I wasn't going to follow through on the patents. It just wasn't worth it. I have out there at the moment a full patent worldwide, even in China and every other country, and it cost a damn fortune. So that's sitting out there floating around. But in my opinion, it's not worth it. It's just too much money. And for say you want to start up a company and it's just a small operation, one or two people, you better putting your money into setting up your operation than spending it on patents, because the patent, it gives you rights, but doesn't give you total protection, because big companies will just go and use it anyway. And you've just put it out there and disclosed it. And they go, oh, thank you very much. We'll just go and use that. And go fight them. That's now your option. You have to go fight them. And they will just kill you because you won't be able to drum up the money to fight them. They'll spend hundreds of thousands of dollars squashing you into the dirt, in my opinion. No, I've seen it happen. It does happen. And the most stupid thing is that I see people, and I'm guilty of this. I am guilty. I would come up with an idea and I'd go and, like, a lot of metal detector ideas are on geotech1.com. We call it geotech, but someone else had the name of geotech, so it's geotech1, just a one, .com. And there's a lot of discussion about technology and stuff. People don't realize, or do they realize, that just by discussing it, it gives them no rights at all. There's no protection at all. You can't discuss that and say, well, that's my idea. It's publicly disclosed and now it's protected. It's not the case. People can grab your ideas and go and write up a full embodiment of a patent and go and lodge it, and it will be approved. Oh, I tell you that you won't be able to stop it. To stop anyone pinching your ideas, you have to make it publicly available forever. And the best way of doing that is do it on YouTube. But you can't just go and discuss it on YouTube because it's proving nothing, and people will just take it and run away with it. It will be commercialized, and you won't be able to do a thing about it. So I've had a bit of a discussion with a few people, and rather than getting patents, it's probably better if you're really clever. If you're doing stuff in embedded microprocessor type stuff, is to just bulletproof your code. Yeah, and make sure it can't be read out and it can't be interrogated, so that no one can actually get the code, but they can work out what it is doing, and then they can back engineer it and do it. But it takes a lot of time. And what you want to do in that circumstance, you want to have a massive amount of whatever you're making ready to go and just blitz the market, blitz it crazy, right? And that just removes the incentive for others to copy, because you're just going to go and hammer the market. You've already made your money. Say you make, I don't know, a good 30, 40, 50% profit or whatever it may be. Keep it as a war chest. And when you have so many of these things made, when sales are slowing down and you do get a competitor, put them out there at cost price and wipe them off the face of the earth. That's what you do. Just do what the Japanese do. Long-term strategy, just blitz it out there. And also, which is someone else's idea too, always have Mark II ready to go, so that you got all your stuff out there, things are slowed down, you have competition fire up and start trying to sell it, launch your Mark II and sing the praises of that it's so much better, and flood the market again. That is the way to do it. That is commercially sound business practice. So anyway, what I was saying about people discussing their ideas, giving everyone the heads up in the commercial part of the world, that they will take it and run with it. They just will. It's just what they do. You can't, there's no feel good, oh, look, it's his idea, we'll let him have it, and not do it. No, bull dust. There's so much stuff I have seen discussed on places like, for instance, Geotech and some of the prospecting forums. This is to do with prospecting, of course. And that's the only thing I'm mentioning is a prospecting thing. That, you talk about it, blah, 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 in, and then bang, it's off and racing, and you will never catch up. Don't discuss your ideas. And my strategy now is that it's called blow it up to such an extent that it can never be patented by yourself or anybody. And you have to basically do a show and tell of what you have done. You probably want a prototype. You want to absolutely go into the nitty gritty of it. You want to give away the whole, everything. Just give it all away, right? So you got to have a clear title and description, all appropriate tags, a thumbnail or whatever of what you want to protect, what it is, and basically you want to upload it to YouTube. You do not want to make it unlisted. You want to have it public, and also you want to copy that video and description and all the embodiment of it and put it on other platforms and make it super discoverable. Make sure everyone knows that you've gone and put it up there on this date and there's no patent applied for it. If you do it like this and basically, you have all your documentation, just disclose the whole lot, put it out there on open source platforms, then it cannot be patented. They can attempt to, but it'll be discovered by the patent office, whoever's doing the examination, and they'll say, sorry, buckos, sorry, you're just trying to patent prior knowledge and prior art, and it's just already been disclosed. So that's how you knock it out of the park. This business of, you know, I did this and I did that, and I discovered that if I connected that to that and put something else in there, it would do this and it would work so much better. Just like I said there, if I did that and said what I did, it'd have no standing whatsoever, and people will take it and paint it. They'll paint it. They'll, you know. So the idea is, rather than have big corporations um, patent everything and lock it up for a huge period of time, 20, 21 years in some cases. And what you can do is just totally disclose everything, no matter what it is, just disclose it, put it out there in public. That means, of course, they can go and do it, but these big companies have very, very big overheads, and then it lets all the little guys get in there and undercut the hell out of them. They won't do it, and it keeps it a freebie sort of a thing for everyone to use, rather than just have some big corporation sit on it and you go and do it, and they'll get their legal department onto you and they'll try and crush you. So just publicly, just disclose it all. Just that's my idea. If it's a real good invention, no, don't. If you want to keep it for yourself, but a lot of people just. I'll tell you some history, right? Because I've been through this for over many, many years doing patents and stuff. Like, I'll give you an idea. Back in the when would it have been, mate? I think back in the 1980s somewhere, I came up with an antibacterial toothbrush, right? And what it basically did, it ran fiber optics up through the handle, and it had a diffuser into the bristles, right? So the bristles are nylon, and you use clear nylon. You put it on a UV source, right? Like in the barber shops, how they UV all their combs and brushes and things. It does. It actually pulls the DNA apart of bacteria and even viruses to some extent. So what this was, a little holder, it went in and it just shot high intensity UV up there into the bristles, and nothing like that was around. So I went and put a patent on it, innovation patent only, and it went into the description of how it all worked. Now I had a letter. It wasn't an email; it was a letter, and the letter was from Colgate over in the US. And Colgate wanted me to go over to the US and, basically, here's my idea, here's how it works, and go into detail, and we're going to work out some deal. And I thought about it, and it went like this. At the time, I didn't want to go to the US, and I had so much other things on the go, I sort of just lost interest in it. And I don't know if anyone to this day has ever made it, but it was out there and it should still be in the public records. So I've never seen one pop up and you go and buy it. Maybe it does. I think I saw some stuff on one of those, I don't know what it was on, one of those, overseas sites, and it had something that hangs there and shines a UV light on it, but nothing was as effective as putting the UV light straight up the tube and diffuse it into the bristles, because it was intense in that part where the bacteria is. So, that's basically how you keep a very nice clean toothbrush. And like I say, that was back in the 1980s. I've done patents on a ton of stuff, and most of it I've just forgotten about. Yeah, I have to go back. I've got all the patent certificates. There's a stack of them. I think I put them up on the web somewhere. But this stuff was it's publicly disclosed, and thus, if anyone wants to come up and say, "Oh, look at this! I invented it," well, hey, prior art's there, and sorry, let everyone do it. But because no one has done it, I think that maybe people think it's just not commercially viable or something. I don't know. It's really easy to do, because it's in a bathroom situation. People think, oh, it might get zapped or something. No, it's, it's 3 volts off a plug pack onto a little thing. Well, what about if kids go and stare into the UV, because it's pretty intense? No, you don't do that. you put sensing technology and lockouts where the toothbrush goes in. Oh, what if they put paper clips in there or something? No, there's other ways you can do keyway encoding on the handle of the toothbrush that only that will set it off. Whatever. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Nowadays, you put a bloody ID chip in it, and if you don't get the ID, it don't turn the UV light on. So there's a heap of way around it, and there you go. That could have been an extension to the patent, but so be it. But yeah, I think on some of this stuff, I'm going to have to document. Look, I could probably sit on it forever, and you can come up with all this stuff and just take it to your grave. Didn't serve any purpose, but a lot of it, I just, I think some of it should just be out there, and everyone goes hell for leather over it and just makes some really good stuff. But I've seen stuff. I've seen guys and myself early on, till I learned better to do it, that you put stuff up on forums, and you're trying to be helpful, or you're trying to, maybe you're trying to blow your own trumpet, saying, oh no, you don't do it that way, do it this way, right? And you know what happens then, don't you? You've gone and just basically said how to do it. Anyone can go and pick that up and run away and patent it. So rather than let the big boys hoggle all the good stuff that's patentable, and just you can only utilize it through buying their detectors, we can do it a different way. So that's that. I just think that is interesting. But if you go and talk to a patent attorney, I'm not saying this like I don't like patent attorneys, but the patent attorney is going to tell you to patent it because he's going to make money off it. Anyone who's going to make money off anything, they have a vested interest, and they will make money, and you will be paying them. And like I say, if you're putting so much money into doing protection, at the end of the day, go and enforce that protection. Try and do it. You'd have to be a big company, like say, well, there are cases where some, I think it was, I'm not going to say any names, but I'll say one name. I remember someone tried to ride on the back of someone's trademark. A chocolate company tried to ride on the back of a particular colour, and Cadbury went and got the sledgehammer and said, no, you're not doing that. And yes, I think it was settled before it went to court, because it was obvious that it was a breach of trademark. But say that you came up with a different colour purple when you started selling chocolate, and Cadbury said, well, we don't want you doing that. Yeah, you won't be doing it. You won't be doing it. I'll tell you that right now. You'll be bankrupted. That's just an example, because everyone knows Cadbury. There's a free plug. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff like that happens. There's a lot of the best one was the one of the guys at the CSIRO, which is here in Australia. It's like the Commonwealth Technical, Inventive, Investigative little. It's government funded anyway. Commonwealth something around science. God, I don't even know if they've changed the name. I haven't used it for yonks. The only person I knew in there was David Archer doing RF field effect transistor design. We used to talk about stuff years ago, and other stuff, but he's probably retired by now. But did you know they had all the patents on how the communication protocols for Wi-Fi worked? And what happened is that all these big companies were using their patented protocols and the way to do it. And the CSIRO don't muck around when they do a patent. They'll spend whatever to put their patent through, and it was worldwide. So you got all these big American companies like all the ones who make routers and things like that. And CSIRO, can't remember the guy's name, but it was actually his, and he was a co-assignee with the CSIRO, and launched legal action. And they all paid up, made millions, because they just took it. They took it as a given that they could just use it because it was out there. Oh, everyone's using it, so we'll use it too. And yeah, they put the hammer down, and this guy made millions in royalty payments. It did go to court over in the US, and yeah, he was totally in his rights, and the CSIRO was too. But that's some years ago. You have a look at all this stuff. It's very interesting if you analyze it, and then you have a look at what was found at the time, and then you apply it to things in the current day, and you can utilize that as a precedent on what you want to achieve, right? Because you'll know more than likely, unless you've got, slippery gypsy lawyers, that you'll get the same outcome in most cases. I'm not saying gypsies are slippery, but it's just a saying. Yeah, we've been saying that for years. But yeah, I think it's a UK saying, actually. But anyway, I won't go into that. Yeah, I don't know any gypsies, so no first-hand knowledge. But it is very interesting to put everything out there in the public domain and keep it out there. You can't have it disappear because now it's not in the public domain. And someone may come up with that and look around and say, oh, look, that doesn't exist, so we're going to go and patent that. And then you won't have a leg to stand on, because even though it was, it's now not. It really should be published in a book, a journal, peer-reviewed article, whatever. If you do that, yeah, never be patented ever. You can do stuff like that, especially peer-reviewed, that you got people who know the state of the art, and everyone's seen it and said, yeah, this is the way to go, or whatever it is. Oh yeah, that'll work. No one else can come in later and say, oh, well, I'm going to patent that. Sorry, prior art can't do it. So I suggest, if you have any ideas, even if they're a little addition to something already out there, go and disclose the addition and how it all works and how it all fits in. And then that stops and a patent extension. See, what happens in a lot of cases, the patents go for like whatever they are, say 19, 20, 21 years, okay. And what they'll do, the companies do, and I know this, they do this, right? This really screws everyone up. You're going, oh, waiting for the patent to expire so I can go and do my own thing with it or whatever. And then what they'll do is they'll then add on to the previous patent, and they'll do it in a particular way that it pulls in some of the previous patent, and it's a bit of smoke and mirrors. And they try and put it in as another patent, and then they get a time extension on that. And then they try and reverse claim off the old expired patent. And a patent attorney will pull that apart and say, no, sorry, you can't do that. In some cases, I have seen patent applications go in, and it's, I won't say exactly what some of the stuff is, but some of it is, I'll give you an idea. To what I liken it to. I was trying to think. It's quite interesting. It's so damn obvious that what was tried to be done is like what it was done for in the first place, and then they tried to patent what it was done for and how it was applied, and try to make it different, but it wasn't. So, not mentioning who, why, or where, but yeah, I've seen stuff like that. Say, okay, I'll give you a very, very basic thing, right? Say you had an axe, right, and had a sharp blade on it, and just say no one ever had axes, and you went and put a patent on it. Oh, look, thing handle, sharp thing. It's not a knife. It's an axe. It's you know, so we're going back into the Stone Age. New and novel invention, you know. Well, made it out of metal rather than stone or something. Okay, I want to get that patented. Or we're going to, or someone else patented it or whatever, right? And you know damn well that it's an axe. Okay. Someone comes along, right? And they go, oh, axe. Oh, the back of it's flat. We can use that as a hammer. So we're going to go and patent that and patent it as a hammer, right? That's what they try and do, because you can now, oh, you know, sorry, it doesn't really hold water, but you know, oh, we hammer nails in, or our, you know, old dinosaur bones or something. I don't know, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's already, you know, fit for purpose. Like, there's some real rippers out there. Who was it? Someone in the US. This is years ago. This is going back probably 30 years ago. Made a patent, or wrote up a patent and applied for the patent. I can't remember. It was something really stupid. It was either for air or water, right? But the technical way it was written might have been for air, and it was some special gas or something. I think I'm trying to think back a long time. See if you can find it. It's quite interesting. But they wrote it up and they put all this special, you know, how it was constituted, you know, with X percent of this and that, and said it was some special gas and did something, whatever it did. And it went in for a patent on a special mix of gas. And it was just the air in the atmosphere, basically how the air's constituted. And they painted it, right? And then it was done. It was in one of those magazines like Scientific American or something. I don't know what it was. It's a long time ago. And it got approved and patented. And then they had to make a mockery of it all, saying, hang on, we just patented air. And then it was obviously basically into that. But it was just done to prove that you can patent all sorts of weird stuff. So anyway, I hope that is interesting. And guys, if you see people, you know, going too far into detail disclosing things that you know that, you know, Mr. Top End of Town is going to jump on and take and just go, oh, thank you very much. We'll make, you know, $5 million from that or whatever. Just word them up in private and say, don't do it, because there's too much of it. There's a lot of stuff that I've seen come to market which is based back in what people were talking about in the past. And it could be some years back and people have forgotten about it. And next thing you see, someone trying to patent it. You know, it's like, oh, this is just my opinion, but look at H bridges, for instance, you know, four transistors or MOSFETs, you know, bang, bang. That's been used in motor drives for forever. And, you know, then you see that stuff come out configured for something different in a different way. So, you know, is it novel and inventive? We ask these questions. Or is it, you know, is it something that should just be known? It should just be known. It's just physics. And maybe everyone's thought, well, you know, it's not that much different than what we're already doing, so we don't do it. But, you know, big corporations will grab that and then flip that into the advertising department. Not saying any names, I'm just saying in general. Flip it into the advertising department. There's a big song and dance about it, and there's new products on the market. And, you know, yeah, you know, people believe the advertising, and that's how the world works, doesn't it? You know, what's better, Coke or Pepsi? Who advertises the most? I don't know. But I know Pepsi's been pumping out the ads lately. I suppose they're onto something. Anyway, hey guys, I'll tell you something else I found. this stuff, right? This is just turned back to room temperature. I left in the freezer, damn it. This stuff is really good, no sugar. It's not sponsored or anything like that. David brought it around for me, 100% natural, 0 sugar, and it's called KAN Guru, and it's green apple flavour, but it's quite good. But look at all the stuff it's got in it. My God, it's like a liquid vitamin pill. That's got a lot of good stuff in it, and it tastes really good. And it does. It gives you an energy boost. So I'll tell you what, you know, if I was out, oh God, whoever makes this stuff, send me some, will you? Because I'm giving you a plug on it. Oh, dear me. But no, it's really nice. And I had some yesterday, first time ever. And I felt really pepped up. It was really good. So, yeah, have a look at it on the internet. Vegan friendly. So it doesn't have bits of bacon in it. Yeah, it's got someone's signature invented by Dr. some da-da-da, made in Australia, made in Queensland. There you go. Queensland's good for something. Gold and this stuff. And the 4X beer is pretty all right too, but yeah, I suppose the Gold Coast is okay too. I don't know. Just mucking around. Yeah, so that's that, guys. I just wanted to talk about the patent stuff, really, because I just see people coming unstuck, just blab, blab, blab their ideas. Look, I have people email me, you know who you are. You email me and you send ideas in to me, you know, and I don't want to disclose those in any way publicly because they're your ideas. And some of them have merit. They really do. And yeah, we've got a collection of ideas. So if anyone ever hacked my email, they get all your ideas. So I better be careful about that and take them out and put them in a secure folder or something. But yeah, just be careful flicking stuff around the place and just saying too much about it, because people will take advantage of you. And the other thing too, if you do have ideas, be very careful. If you have, you go to people who want to get involved in finance, because normally if you get someone financing, they'll take 90% of the pie or thereabouts. Be very careful of signing contracts, because it's not, in 90% of the cases, it's not for your benefit. I'll tell you that right now. Be careful. Be very careful. And if you want my honest advice on advice or opinion, probably more opinion. Don't get other people involved in your projects. Do not. Just don't do it. I've been there and I've had the most horrific experience with other people. I'll give you one example, the worst example, okay? I was making up when we had mobile phones, like Nokia ones, and had little tiny, stupid looking antennas that are about that big on top. You'd have to be old enough to know this, but Nokia 5110s and 3220s and whatever. There's lots. All of them had antennas. They're all around 800 megahertz, and they're a little spiral antenna. Okay, and we're all on the analog systems. They weren't digital. And what would happen, instead of like with digital, you got signal, you're still talking, and then no signal, it goes away, right? Analog, the way it was done with the time division thing, and I can do this because I used to do this to people, get them off the phone talking to me when they talk for too long. It used to sound like this, like that, and it would just start going out of synchronization. And that's when you're getting on the fringe of reception with an analog system, when it's a digital analog system. And it would sound all broken up like Darth Vader a little bit, right? I used to say to people, you go on Darth Vader. And yeah, so anyway, You can't do that with digital systems. Yeah, you got to find out some other way of doing it, like dropping into a RF-proof bag or something. But yeah, what would happen is that you'd start losing the signal, and it was basically lack of capture area on the phone as well, because you could have where the way it worked with the time division multiplexing, it would still work, but because you're in a building, it would attenuate the signal so much that you'd start getting the same dropout effect, and then it would drop the call altogether. So I designed, and I actually patented slip-on antennas, which you could just carry one in your pocket. Didn't have to have this big dicky antenna on there, but it was just basically a series co-phased monopole type cell, co-phased dipole that I made because it was a coil for the antenna already. I made another coil in the same phase, and I adjusted everything so that it would couple into the existing antenna. So no one else thought of this, and I did this, and I made them, and I was selling them, and I got a guy who will remain nameless, who wanted to come on board and help me move these. I'll tell you, this fair income, this is 100% true. This was probably back in the 80s as well. 80s, 90s, somewhere around there. I don't know. We'll rather forget about it. But what happened is that I came up with a lot of adaptations for this. And this guy was running around and selling these, right? And he always said, "Oh, I've run out. I need more." And this is called, younger brain, no business sense, right? Yeah, no worries. Bang, bang, bang. And when are you going to pay for all the ones you've got? Went quiet. Couldn't contact. Okay, so this is very strange. And how's this? It got to the point where it was just hiding. I owed a lot of money, right? But hiding and wouldn't deal. And I eventually said, "Bugger this." I got Dun & Bradstreet onto him, right? Because he was being an absolute you know what. And I got a statement back from Dun & Bradstreet, debt collectors. And this is what he said. "I don't know him. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never had any dealings with him." That is what this dude said to them. And the thing is that he came with me to meetings with other in companies that wanted to get in on this, heaps of witnesses, right? And just complete, "I've got the money, you're not getting it." And I'll tell you what, 99% of the people in this world are like that. If you give them basically you have nothing in place to guarantee your outlay to them. You got no written contract. You have no collateral of theirs as a guarantee against what they owe you. They will thieve you. No, I'm not joking. It's happened so often. You give someone I'll give someone a millimeter, and they'll take 5,000 bloody meters. So this is from my own personal experience through life. Trust no one. There's so many people that have done wrong to me in business, right? That I'm in a position now. The only person I trust is my son, David, because I don't trust anyone. They will thieve. They will. And, a lot of them know who they are. They just take advantage of you. And I don't like it. I don't like it at all, So we used to have people, send it to me and I'll pay you in 2 weeks. Pigs, you know what? That's just a gift. You do that, it's a gift. Don't. If people don't pay, do not give. Money first, then the object. I think it's bloody common sense, but a lot of people are too trusting, and you just get walked over. So, I've had situations like that. When I was younger, that when you're really, really stupid, you really don't get a brain, a good business brain, till you probably, I don't know, you God, this is going to be like life lessons, but I've been there, and I should explain some of the stuff that's happened. But when I was like 18, 19, around those ages, I lost cars because I'll pay you, blah, blah, and freaking never happens, and yeah, gone. Learn a lesson, then tools. Don't lend tools. Just don't do it. And the other one, don't lend your boat. I had a nice boat, and I thought I could trust this guy. Lent him my boat, put my brand new stainless steel prop into the rocks down at Western Port Bay, and refused to acknowledge that he'd done that and that he should replace it. So that was an expensive prop. I think it was something like $350 back then. And this is why you don't lend stuff to people. Do not. Some people, if they have genuinely helped you, well, then I'll lend them stuff. That's fine. I'll tell you what, right now, I've lent people coils, right? I've never seen them again. I said, yeah, look, go out and test that, and gone. Never ever spotted again. But I've already committed to letting someone use one of the coils I made because he let me have his coil to get the dongle out of. I think that's a pretty good sort of back and forth on that, where he's done something substantial, and yes, he can go and test some coils. That's fair. But people come around and they're very, very friendly and chatty and that, and oh, have you a small coil I can borrow? Oh, yeah, because I'm not using it. And so this is the way I think. Yeah, you can use it. Now, bloody idiot. Slap me. Oh, idiot. Don't do it. So, I don't, I try and pull back on that sort of stuff, because so many times, like, I don't want to go into it. It's happened, but doesn't happen anymore. I've had all sorts of weird business partners who, you're funding most of it. Next minute, they think they own everything. When you're going, no. And they wonder why you go cold on them. And they wonder why you won't put any more money into a venture, right? I wonder why. So I very, very particular now who I deal with. Okay, very particular. But I'm really easy to get along with. Just don't freaking take advantage. I really hate it. There's people who've taken it. Yeah, I could say more. There's a lot I could say. Especially, you've got to be very wary in the prospecting community overall. It's other prospectors know what other prospectors are like. Take someone to your patch, and you will find out that was probably a very bad idea. And 9 times out of 10, it will be a very bad idea. There are people you can trust. There are people with very strong morals and will not do that. But for some reason, I don't find those people. They're very rare, but they do exist. I know they do exist. Now, I have found people that are really straight up and down. But, sometimes temptation taints things, and yeah, the more time goes by, the more temptation. Anyway, I wish I didn't get onto that subject, but that's just a roll off on the patents. And, corporates will do that, and the individual will do this. So just be wary, just life lessons. Look, I'll tell you what, I could write a book on what not to do, and well, let me put it this way. I could write a book on how to lose $1 million. How to lose $1 million over time. Yeah, 100%. I can write a book on how to make $1 million, right, over time. I could write a book on all sorts of things. How you don't need to take out a home loan. You can invest and do this and do that and do that and do what I did. Bought the house cash, bang. What? You can't buy a house cash? Oh, yes, I can. It's in my bank account. Bang, there you go. That was quite a shock because, the bank's sitting there going, oh, more interest and more money for us. Little did they know. But yeah, stuff like that. Interest, paying loans, credit card interest and all that is an absolute mugs game. Don't do it. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. Unless you're going to be a full-time prospector and you know where all the gold is, right? I'm not joking. But then again, there's, like I've said in previous videos and over time, prospectors, not prospectors, core prospectors, but detectorists and guys, who you talk, who I'm talking about. I'm probably talking to you as well, but maybe you're not like this. But if you look at the personality types in the gold game, like hunting around, the person who does prospecting is also probably the guy who buys Tats Lotto tickets. This is what I found. I've found people that I've known really, really well in the prospecting gold game who some are religiously betting on dog races, horse races, and playing around with cryptocurrency. Gambling. It's just in the blood, I think. Looking for gold's taking a gamble, unless you know roughly where to go and you get onto ground that you're pretty, good idea that hasn't been raped and pillaged, and you can go and find some gold. But it is. Look, there you go. It's me being black and white, and that's truthful. And you all know people like this. You must do if you know other prospectors. Anyway, I'm not putting anyone down. I'm just saying it's just the nature of the beast. Gold is a funny animal. Like I said many a time, put $50 of gold on the table, put $50 note next to it, put, say, a paperweight or something on the $50 note, have people come and go, don't look, don't be there. 9 times out of 10, the gold will disappear, but the money will stay there. That is freaking weird. Don't store your gold at home. Don't do it. People find out, and you'll come home one day and your gold won't be there. That has happened to me twice. I do not keep gold on the premises. I do not. No way known. Except for those tiny little things on my stick. That's all I keep. That's it. I had a 24 karat gold necklace, like a big chunky one. What the mafia wear, like the eye ties. They wear stuff like that. All the lebs, but chunky, really chunky. And I got it made when I was over in Bali years and years ago, and paid a fortune for it then. It was worth a lot, and it was really heavy. And I remember come home one day, and it just magically had disappeared all by itself. It grew legs and walked off out the door. Another time I come home, and I said, oh, how come that window's open? Went into the room. Why is a fly wire on the floor? Where's my this, that? Where's my radio cassette? It's not there. Where's my shaver? Not there. Where's my coin collection? Not there. Oh no, where's my gold? Open the drawer. Not there. There you go. Right? Gold. I don't know. It's like a magnet to thieves. So that was that time. And there's another time too. I had some a good little nugget collection. And it also just grew legs and walked away. So keep your money in the bank, right? Don't keep gold on your premises, actually. Yeah, gold, store of wealth. Yeah, actually, more than likely will walk out the door and you'll have no wealth. Be very careful. I know a fellow who actually bought gold bars, ingots, right? This is feeding him true, and he buried them in the backyard. And this fellow died. No one knew where they were. And they're at such a depth, they have not been found to this day. But he used a post hole digger to put them in. True story. It's not around anywhere here. This is over towards Red Hill, down south in Victoria. But yeah, no one had a detector would go down deep enough to find them. And that property got sold. So crazy, isn't it? But yeah, like I say, I could write a book on tons of stuff. And, if hindsight's great, when you've been around for a while and you get a lot of hindsight of what's happened, people who are in their 20s and 30s and even 40s don't see what can happen when you get into situations. Like I've got some ripper stories. Some of it will make you absolutely laugh your heads off. But yeah, a lot of them, a lot of people who get married, right? Oh, yeah, never get divorced, and you're never going to have hassles. Yeah, that's the biggest one of all. You can't foresee, and yeah, things come up and go whack, and that'll financially destroy you if you're not wary of it. So be wary of all these things. Be wary. But like I say, I should set up another channel, and I could just go through. I could go through massive amount of time periods where people have tried it on, tried to do things have happened, and like I tell people, some people, like I tell my family some of the stuff that's happened in the past, and they're all going, "Oh my God, write a book!" Things like if we go right back into the real distance. There in the past, being chased by half the police force was interesting, because there's certain people you shouldn't hang around with. I think the other one, when I said that guy took me around to this super criminal's house, I didn't know it was him. Then I worked out who it was, and this is going way, way, way back. And you learn not to associate with people like that, no matter what. And yeah, there's just tons of stuff. But yeah, it's all a bit of a laugh. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Went off the technical side of things there a bit, but that's how it is. Anyway, catches.